Hey, welcome to Monologue Mondays, where I drink a bunch of coffee and then just ramble into my microphone at length. So today's topic is anarcho-nihilism. I just started reading like the book on it that I kept hearing about, called like "Blessed is the Flame." It's basically taking a look at the ideology by looking at resistance to Nazi concentration camps during like the Nazi regime. It's been pretty interesting so far. I'd recommend it even to like someone who isn't really an anarchist or even a leftist, and just I haven't gotten that far into it though. The main topic of today's video is the ideology itself and sort of how it applies to the modern political landscape. Um, so actually, starting off, what is anarcho-nihilism exactly? Um, Basically, it's anarchism from like starting at a place of defeat and then with a focus on like rebellion despite that, like having a it's kind of like absurdist in a sense. Like if you like gone to like pop philosophy or whatever, have people always talk about like rebelling against the absurd, pushing the boulder up the hill for eternity. It's basically that, but for revolutionary anarchists. um it's a pretty it's one of those wackier, like, fascinating ideologies that it just sounds patently insane. The whole premise is like going out in a blaze of glory, basically. Which I don't think no rational person would hear that. Like, no matter how much you dress it up, no one's gonna like say that's a good idea because it isn't. Unless you have like a real ideological conviction to it, which anyone who believes this so would. It's a lot of it just seems like a pride thing. Um, that being said, I feel like a lot of ideas from it are a lot more useful than people might initially give them credit for. Even if people aren't like revolutionary in a sense. Um, and I think that's a lot of that just comes from the political landscape in the Western world, how passively nihilistic it is. Because the thing about anarcho-nihilism is it isn't sort of like the lazing around sort of nihilism where oh nothing matters, I'm just gonna like eat chips all day or whatever. It seems to be like a prevailing attitude in the modern day just because of everything that we have a lot of like comfort in like the United States and stuff, but also everything seems completely doomed. It doesn't really seem like anything you do like matters. um like with the anarcho-nihilism ideology on the other hand, sort of like building on off the same foundation of we're all fucked, nothing really matters, saying I'm gonna do something about it, even if it's completely pointless. I'm gonna do something, and I feel like that's a very powerful. Even if you don't like subscribe to the ideology or put yourself in that box, I think that's a very inspiring sort of attitude to have. I think it's kind of the antidote, really, to that sort of passive sort of nihilism, because it starts off in the same place, but it actually goes somewhere. You aren't just like chasing your tail, like hiding from the world, or just like doom scrolling. There's something to do, something to believe in, and I feel like that would provide a much more meaningful existence as people who like want to make a change. Um, and it goes beyond. A lot of people talk about how like anarchism is like a state of mind. It's not necessarily throwing bricks at cops. I feel like that would apply to this too. Sure, like the book I was talking about earlier was about literally like throwing like tin can bombs at like Nazis or whatever. But anarchism isn't just that. I mean, that's definitely an aspect of it. But I mean, even just like contributing to the community is sort of in the anarchist mindset. Um, and it's active. It's even if it might feel kind of small to someone to like canvas and like I don't know, try to get people to like vote more progressive, or just like helping out around like in like a charity or just an organization like that. It might feel hopeless, especially to people who have like kind of more utopian ideals, because it is small. It can be completely fruitless, but I feel like not doing it, just looking at the world and saying, okay, everything's fucked, let's just give up. It's a very toxic attitude to have. I feel like, I guess, in short, I feel like we could all benefit from a little, like, anarcho-nihilism, that, wanting to improve the world, like, stand up to, like, oppressive, like, governments, organizations, institutions, just societal conventions, yada yada. Um, just, but actually wanting to do something about it, like, not just having sort of an ideological conviction against it, but also, like, sort of an active, practical one. Anyway, so, yeah, that's my thoughts.